What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 76 of Park to Prem here with Nottingham Forest. Today we've got a huge episode, but if you didn't see things yesterday, just go watch it. I don't need to tell you, just go see it. Episode 75, Mission Impossible. Could we pull it off? Well, if you've seen it, you know. I thought today we'd start on the profile of Duncan Brown. You may remember this chap. He came through our youth intake last year, and at the time, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with him. I feel like he's just a bit of a weird player. To be honest, I'm still not sure what to do with him a year on, but what is great to see is that he has developed a lot in a year. Like, really a lot. He's still only 16 years old. His physicals have already come on a long way, and I'm starting to think he could be a really good complete forward for us. His technicals are good. His finishing needs to grow, but when you look at the progression that he's made over the course of just 12 months, there's lots of reasons to be optimistic. I think that Duncan Brown could be a first-team player in the next year or two, which is kind of exciting to dream about, dare I say. But anyway, he is small fish to fry in the grand scheme of things. At this point, I'm going to assume that you saw things last time where, of course, we had that epic game against Barcelona. Today, we've got a double-header. It's going to be both legs of the Champions League quarter-final taking on Juventus. I really want to win a Champions League this year. It's going to be tricky. Juve we're top of Barcelona's group, and Barcelona gave us a headache, so quite how we're going to deal with Juve, or Zebra, I suppose remains to be seen. If we just have a look at the fixtures since we're last here, only a couple of matches played. I guess the big headline here is we are still in the FA Cup. We've made it to the semi-final, and that was off the back of a 3-0 win against Wolves. Good performance in this one. Good to see Ricky Picky getting a goal to, open up the goal scoring. And then from there, we cruised in the second half, by far and away the better team in this game. I played the best 11. I wanted to go for this game very seriously. And it was great to see Sampaio running the show out on the right-hand side. 2 assists to his name. I feel like a little bit of an unsung hero, a player who doesn't get enough credit. Yes, he only has 10 crossing. Yes, his technicals aren't the craziest, but he has absolutely superb physicals. His mentals are good. He loves big matches. He's consistent. And yeah, I feel like he gets a lot of unfair credit, unfair lack of credit. I was going to say unfair credit. No, he doesn't get enough credit, this guy. He's very good. He's very good. He's in the running, actually, to be the PFA Player of the Year in the Premier League. 9 assists and 3 Player of the Matches from right back is not too shabby. And if we just look at the season preview here, you can see Navio at left back in the Media Dream 11, Sampaio and De Volder in the middle. We're slowly taking over, I want to believe here. I say that. I actually think there's fewer players in the Media Dream 11 than there were at the start of the year, so maybe I'll backpedal on that slightly. But Navio and Sampaio, our fullbacks, sat in there, and we had another good performance against Newcastle, a team in black and white. I'm hoping that's going to be some kind of positive omen. An international break before this game against Newcastle was nice. You can see Davio grabbed a couple, and of course, today, Davio taking on his former club. We signed him from Juve in the summer for 106 million smackaroonies. I'm hoping that he's going to do the business for us today and show us that he wasn't a waste of money, that we were right to sign him. And in terms of team news for today's game, you may notice Gonzalez isn't in the team again. Yeah, he got injured against Newcastle. He should be back for the second leg, fingers crossed, touch wood. But much like the first leg against Barcelona, we are without our star man. And, with that in mind, I'm going to go with Poyana up front, I think. I think he's earned another chance. He showed, I guess, some pretty nice stuff against Barcelona on the big stage. He loves important matches. He's super consistent. And to be fair, his goal-scoring record this year has been superb. Normally out in the wide area, but today I need him to play as a striker. I'm hoping he's going to live up to the hype. Elsewhere, the team is the team that you know and love and would expect to see playing. Of course, today's opening game against Juve is at home. With that in mind, I want a clean sheet. I want a few goals. I'm hoping for a nice little performance here in the quarterfinals, but I know that this is going to be tricky. This is a Juventus team that seriously has some talent. If we just have a quick peek at their team, they are managed, as you can see here, by Zinedine Zidane. They've got De Ligt still in their team as captain, even at 35. He's a pretty good centre-back. Elsewhere, Burkic is their key man. He looks absolutely superb, although he hates big matches. So maybe the day we can benefit from that. And if we just sort by wages here, you can see they've got players like Esposito up top, who, to be fair, at 32, doesn't actually look all that scary. I realise I shouldn't say that because he's now going to score a hat-trick against me. and I'm going to look like a mug. And, well, despite the fact that Juve did finish ahead of Barcelona in the group stage of the Champions League, going into this game, we are the favourites, and I do expect us to get a really good performance here in the first leg. We've been in some good form. Yes, we're without Gonzalez, but we've got Poyana, who I feel like is slowly, I don't know, restoring his reputation. He's clawing it back. Hopefully today, he's going to get a few goals as the lone striker. I'd be lying if I was to say there wasn't a small part of me that was tempted to go with the two-striker setup that worked so well against Barca, but I had second thoughts on that. And well, hopefully we're not going to live to regret it as, well, Zebra, Juve, have a corner. We're going to look to hit them on the break here. Poyana brings it forward to Vaio against his former club, has to finish it, and does finish it. That's what you want to see. 6 minutes gone. And, well, if there was any questions over, would he want to score against his former club? Would he want to celebrate against his former club? To be fair, I think the celebrations were quite muted, but he had absolutely no second thoughts there as he slots it into the bottom corner. We catch them on the break. Poyana with a great little assist. And I don't want to get too carried away just yet, but that is the perfect start as far as we're concerned. I almost feel like after that second leg against Barcelona, it's now written in the stars. There's no way we're going to not win a Champions League this year, surely. I say all of that. Simons through, Danny Dyer, relatively straightforward save at the near post, but it did have to be made, and to be fair to him, he did a pretty good job of stopping it in the end. Early on, though, both teams having opportunities. I'm going to get shouty early on. Get a demand more going as Ode brings the ball forward here. Devolder, do not foul. Good tackle. Plays it to Poyana, who is lost. Poyana, where are you going? That is not the clearance that I needed there. If in doubt, put it out. Don't kick it straight to their midfielders. Burkic to Montserrat. The country has become a player, and they're playing at centre mid, it would appear. Burkic, Diaz. Juve again having the ball here in our half. Last time this happened, obviously, the corner. We caught them on the counter. We need to stop the ball coming in here, and we're not going to do that. It's played inside to Alves, who hits it. And in a very crowded penalty area, we are perhaps a tad fortunate that has gone wide of the post. I mean, in the early kind of moments of this game, we're still only half an hour in. I'm happy that we're ahead, but it's not been kind of complete plain sailing, has it? I mean, Juve are having opportunities, and they might have another one here. Alves, back post, Ode. Oh my word, did Dyer save that? He did. It was offside, it wouldn't have counted. I've just noticed in the Bayern game, Boyer, our former man, he's just scored for them. Am I going to regret selling him? This is not the moment to be looking at Boyer's profile, Jack. We're in a Champions League quarter-final, head in the game. Lindaz is head in the game, he heads it clear. Poyana, there's two players on the right-hand side. It's going to be tricky to pick either of them out. What can the Romanian do? He gets to the byline. He goes on his lonesome. He's dispossessed. It falls to Largo. Lind is there. Hits it. I think this is going to be disallowed. I'm not sure what for here. I'm wondering if Largo was just offside and they're claiming it interfered with the goalkeeper's line of sight. There is drama here. It is going to be disallowed. I don't think this should have been. Where was the offside? Maybe. I actually think the player stood closest to the goalkeeper wasn't offside, but there was a player stood offside. And well, from that highlight into another one. 43rd minute, a goal for either team before half-time could be a bit of a game changer. Sampaio bringing it forward, gives it to Lind, who squanders possession there. That's not what we want to see. Montserrat now with it to Burkic. Their star man, the number 7 in the middle, lays it off to Ode, running down this right-hand side. Lays it to Diaz on the overlap, whipped back post, and on the volley, Tongia scores. And I'll tell you now, we have not been good enough in this game. This is the home leg. This is the game that we should really be dominating in. We should be bullying them in. And after we secured an early goal, I thought maybe that would give us, a reason for confidence, a reason to really take the game by the scruff of the neck. But truth be told, Zebra here have come out swinging. They've gone a goal down, and if anything, they were the team to respond to it. Half-time is going to be 1-1. They've been the better team. I think it's difficult to dispute that. Going to tell the players I'm far from pleased and demand a little bit more. We're going to pump the fists. Look at that. David Lind. He loves the pumping of the fists. Not a great half. Not a terrible half, though. Let's not start overreacting just yet. I'm actually considering, due to their lack of a centre attack in mid, changing things up. And I'm very tempted to go to kind of the 4-2-3-1 that we've used sparingly this year. Simply because I think it's a formation that works very well against teams who aren't, basically, if a team's using the centre attack in mid, I feel like we're in trouble with this. But when a team doesn't have a centre attack in mid, I think it allows us to really seize the game. Going to hope that this second half works out better for us. Sampaio to Erk. He gives away the ball there in a bit of a bad area. Erk has not had a good game thus far. Gasparini launches it forward. Piccione is there, though. He's going to clear it wide to DeVio, who's going to have to keep it in and does very well to do just that. Skips past his man, lays it off to DeVolder, to Lind at the edge of the box, and now we could be in trouble. Simon with the ball, skips past one. Can Sampaio put in a tackle? Of course he can, but it's back to Tonja. Another tackle by Sampaio, back to Tonja. And suddenly Juve have a second. And I feel bad for Sampaio there because he has put in all the effort and he has not been bailed out. He has not been helped. And I'm going to make changes. I'm going to bring in Edison out on the right. Lind, I think we're going to take off. And I'm going to bring in Van Dijk, I think, as a centre attacking mid. Move Largo to deep line playmaker. I've got one last sub in my back pocket. And I'm not sure I'm going to use it. I think we're going to keep with things as they are. But a personnel change needed. The midfield has not turned up. Changes are pending. A highlight is playing. Navio, DeVolder. Surely we're not going to respond right away. He kicks it straight into the hands of Gasparini, who's going to clutch hold of that. Well, we're straight into another highlight less than a minute later. It's relentless right now. The tactical changes opened up the game. Whether or not it's for the better or the worse remains to be seen. Simon Ode tries to switch the ball. Danny Dyer reads that nicely. And with there are 2 away goals, I feel like we need at least a draw on the night. Those away goals could be critical. And while that looked offside for Simon, Danny Dyer's come out. It is going to be offside. Breathe a sigh of relief, everyone. I have not enjoyed what I have seen just there, though. We looked so chilled out at the back in a just completely lackadaisical way. No one really looked like they wanted to care. How far was he offside? I mean, he was quite far off, to be fair to the players. The offside trap working wonders. I want to shout again. I want to shout again at them. 23 minutes left. It's 2-1. We are going to get the demand more shout going. Edison, fresh off the bench. Largo. Dinks it over. Van Dijk's there. Is he onside? I think he was. The defender, though, what a tackle that was. I thought for a second Van Dijk had skewed it wide, but no, the defender got a toe on it. We have a corner. It's going to be Largo with it. Whip towards the near post. Diaz heads it away from there for them. I mean, since we changed things up, they've only created one chance this half, but they scored from that one chance. Largo here with a corner. Whips it towards Piotr. It's cleared away. Simon now to bring the ball forward for them. Piccione, though, reads it very, very well. Navio going to go all the way back to Dyer. As I said, in this half, I think they've had one shot all half and it went in. I feel like we've been the better team. We've definitely had a response, but it's not really shown on the scoreline just yet. Maybe a chance for it to happen here as DeVio against his former club. What have you just done, Vincenzo? People question the fact he's on £450,000 a week. I justify it by the merch income that he has as a superstar of world football joining us. I'll tell you what, I'll just point them at this goal now to justify it. What an insane effort. He's on for a hat-trick against his former club. He's just rocketed that into the top corner. And a moment of magic when we needed it the most. I'm going to go on attacking here. I want to go for this with 2 minutes left. I feel like Juve have been rocked. We have come out in the second half and been the better team. And whilst it's a gamble to go forward, I feel like momentum is with us. The wind is in our sails and I want to capitalise on that, knowing there's no away leg to come. Whether or not we're going to live to regret that, we may find out in the next 10 seconds as Juve bring it down this side. And I think DeVolder's just given away a penalty. And it's a dumb penalty as well. The player has his back to goal. And he just tackled through the back of him so unnecessarily. I mean, at this point, I'm praying that it was outside the box, but I'm pretty certain it was inside. Oh, all that work. And it could get undone here. Decision is no penalty. Are you kidding me? Wow. I mean, it looked in the box to me. We have just dodged a bullet. 2-2. Edison looked good off the bench. DeVio played superbly. I mean, his 2 goals have saved us. That screamer into the top corner gives us hope. An away leg is going to be tricky. It's not going to be simple. But, I mean, thank you, Devayo. I feel like we played the better of the 2 teams, especially in the second half. But just didn't really create enough, didn't score enough. I think, when you lack your star striker, that is always going to be a little bit of an issue. Concerning that it took moments of magic from Devayo to get the goals, but I don't know, if Gonzalez is fit for the Juve game in a week, I'm quietly confident. You can see here, we have got a Chelsea game between then and now. Whilst Chelsea are third in the league, they are some way off the pace, and we do still have a 4-point gap to United. So with that in mind, I'm going to play the Chelsea game, and we're going to come back for a huge game as we head to Turin, hoping, praying, that we can do a little bit of a better job than we did in that first leg. Okay, folks, we are back. Game number 2 against Juve. A little bit of a mountain to climb, but perhaps compared to the first knockout round, it's not quite as high a peak that we need to get to the summit of today. But 2-2 after the first leg, away from home now, it is going to be tricky, but big news for us really is Gonzalez, top goal scorer, fit, ready and raring to go, and that in itself is just a massive, massive win for the team, as was the win in midweek, where a rotated 11 dispatched of Chelsea. Yes, good performance. There's 2 goals in the first half. The first for Gaston Gallardo, and then Puyana grabbed us a second. A couple of nice finishes here. I feel like we got a little complacent as the game went on. But despite that, we held on to our lead. They got a goal through Pedro Neto in the 57th minute. His effort went in off the post to get past Hamada, but obviously with a rotated 11 playing in this game here, it leaves us in a really good spot going into the second leg against Juve with kind of a ready and refreshed team. And while speaking of the team, it is very much the same team that played the previous game, with the exception of course, Gonzalez coming in and Puyana being dropped down to the bench. I'm actually wondering whether or not to put Edison on the bench now. I'm questioning it. He had quite a good game last time. You know what? Edison for Ionu. Is that controversial? I feel like Ionu looks like he should be absolutely top drawer and he's just not been. It's a bit disappointing, really. He may be even the kind of player who ends up getting loaned out next year when the likes of Adebayo return from their loan spells. Of course, he left in January to go to Atalanta. He's tearing it up in Italy. He looks absolutely top drawer. I've got a headache to get over, I suppose, in the summer when it comes to strikers. But for now, I think Edison is the remedy for this headache. He is the kind of player who, with his pace and his technical ability, on off the bench, could be a game changer. And we may well need a game changer here, because this is away from home. We're taking on Juve 2-2. I mean, Devayo, if you want to turn up like you did for the first leg, that would probably help us out pretty nicely. I am going back to the 4-3-3 today. I feel like we need to be a little more conservative. I can't really throw men forward like we did in the second half of the game against Juve. In terms of their team, they've got Declan Rice at centre-back, which is interesting. And alongside him, they've also got Fofana here. So 2 players who aren't the quickest, a little bit older. I wonder if they've got some suspensions at the back. I don't know. I'm looking at that thinking that could be exploitable as the game goes on, that slow centre-back setup, particularly if I need to, much like we did against Barcelona, throw on another striker. Anyway, Montserrat heads away the ball here. Early highlight, Sampaio, less than a minute gone, down this right-hand side. Can the right-back find a way into the box? He gives it to Largo. Lind has it, and he hits it. The keeper saves it with his foot, but it goes to Gonzalez. I don't know what the goalkeeper is doing, but after the goal that was disallowed in the first leg, that feels a little bit like justice to me. Lind's effort, unfortunately, stopped. I don't know what the keeper's doing here. I want to give you some in-depth analysis, but it's difficult to break that down. I feel like that's a case of the animation that is played not being a good animation to play. It looks like one of those ones where if the keeper goes down and it kind of bounces off their chest and they spill it, it looks normal. What we've just seen there just doesn't look like football. I'm not going to complain, though. It's 1-0 already, a second goal, and we would be cruising, and Piscione has it. And suddenly, Juve need 2 to take it to extra time. These 2 early away goals put us in just a completely controlling position. Piscione, the Italian stallion, he's returned to his motherland. And, he's done pretty well here, hasn't he, so far? He gets the header on goal into that bottom corner. And I'm suddenly sat thinking, this might not be as stressful as I thought it might end up being. I felt like we were the better team in that first leg, but we didn't make it count. But so far, everything we've seen, we've touched a goal, and it almost continued. Gonzalez hits the post. That could have been, I don't want to say that would have been game, set and match, but if we score a third here, Juve have to score 4. And that feels like a mighty mountain for them to climb, although there is lots of football yet to be played here. Alves with the ball back to goal. Can we win the ball off them here? We can. Devolder wins it. Largo to Erk. Gonzalez, he is onside there. Should finish this. Can he finish it? No, he cannot. And well, he's had 2 efforts now, one-on-ones. The first hit the post. The second's been saved. He's slowly but surely getting closer to actually finding the back of the net. Surely the next chance that falls his way is going to be a goal. Half an hour gone here, and I'll be frank with you, compared to the first leg, this has been a very, very different fixture, but it could change quickly. 1 goal for them, and suddenly we are in a position where we have to worry. But they give away the ball. Devayo wins it. Gonzalez making this run forward. Options in the middle for Devayo. He could go all on his own. He holds it up well. He's fouled through the back by Montserrat. It could be a penalty. Could we score the penalty? I mean, that in itself, why ask that question? Of course we're going to score it. It's not in doubt. And well, after the referee disallowed that, didn't give the penalty. I was going to say disallowed the penalty. He didn't give the penalty in the last minute for them in our ground. We've now got a penalty here, and Gonzalez steps up, sends the keeper the wrong way, and suddenly it is 3-0. Wow. Away from home, this is an impressive performance and an impressive result. Smashed into the bottom corner by Gonzalez, a player who I think we've missed massively. You look at the first leg against Barcelona, you look at the first leg against Juve, he wasn't available for either of them. When he's on the pitch, we play so much better. And while we are 45 minutes away from the Champions League semi-finals, they need 4. If we get another, they will need 5. Erk has just been fouled there. I think the ref's going to go and look at the screen. Apparently it might have been harsh. Now, normally I'd sit here going, well, that's going to be given. They never aren't given. After what we saw in the previous game, I don't think I can take anything for granted. But Gonzalez could have a shot at a hat-trick if it is to be given. The referee, he's made up his mind. He blows his whistle. He gives the penalty. And Juventus are capitulating. Gonzalez, for the hat-trick, hits it into that same bottom left-hand corner. I've missed you, buddy. I've missed you. Devayo and Erk have not showed up in this game, but they've not really needed to. That is a great penalty as well into the bottom corner. The away fans behind the goal are sent into raptures. And well, they need 5. And there's 40 minutes left. I think I can relax for the first time in a while in a Champions League knockout stage game. For the first time in a while, I feel like I can breathe a small sigh of relief. I mean, if they get 1, even then, I'll be fine. Don't actually score it. Don't put it to the test, Juve, mind you. Devayo wins it, lumps it to Gonzalez. He's on for 4. Could he get 4? He can get 4. Oh, my word. What is he doing to them? Devayo's assist, to be fair, was absolutely sensational. He wrestles the ball off Diaz here. One touch, straight out of his feet, sees Gonzalez. The touchdown, takes it in his stride. And just a little cheeky dink over the goalkeeper makes it 4 on the night for Gonzalez, 5 on the night for us. And this is a European night to remember, ladies and gentlemen. This is one to tell your grandchildren about, and they will tell their great-grandchildren about it in 120 years' time. I'm going to take off Erk. He's been a bit quiet. Navio off for Matti. You know what? We'll bring on Correa for Sampaio. Let's get some fresh legs in. It's done. They can't come back here. It's a case of can Gonzalez get a double hat-trick at this point? Oh my word. Danny Dyer wants to get in on the headlines himself with a save like that one. Outstretched right hand stops it going goalwards. I'm going to just shout encouragement. They all hate me. That's fine. You can hate me now, boys. It'll make you better. Embrace the hate. Piccione heads it away. Devolder lumps it forward. No one in the wide area for us there. Fofana with it. Juve now playing such a high line. I'm tempted to bring on a second striker. That is an insane tackle by Piccione. I was going to say I'm tempted to bring on a second striker. Of course, I've made all my changes here, but I've got a plan. It might be dumb. Largo, you can play right, mid-right. You can kind of play it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I want to go for more, everyone. Is this harsh? Is this unnecessary? Maybe slightly. It worked in the last game, didn't it? Right, there we go. Largo out on the right wing. Played here a couple of times in his career, apparently. Don't think he's ever played here for us, but it's his time to shine. I want Gonzalez to get more. He's got 4. It'd be quite nice if he could get 6. And I feel like with their 2 slow centre-backs, just sticking Poyana on one and Gonzalez on the other is just going to cause them absolute nightmares at the back. Poyana to Lind. Dinks it for Gonzalez is there. Great touch. Can he finish it? He can't. He almost had 5. The keeper denies him. Corner still to be taken by Largo, though. Whips it in. I mean, if Piccione gets one, suddenly he's on for a hat-trick as well. Largo, where are you going? Into the side netting is the answer to that question. And, well, it's been clinical from Gonzalez today. He has been the difference maker. I mean, that there is no denying. The question really is, could we get 6? It feels like at this point there are still highlights going in our favour. What a night. What a night to remember. Sensational. Gonzalez, absolutely top drawer, my friend. A 10.0 rating. You do not see that every day. And with that, we go marching on. I've just seen Porto knocked out Bayern. That is a big result. That is a big upset. We just look at the Champions League semi-finals. Here they are. Porto v Real Madrid. Ourselves versus Lyon. Real Madrid, they are ahead of Barcelona in La Liga, to be fair. For Lyon, our opposition, if we just look at things, they've kind of always been the bridesmaid, but never the bride in France. You can see they finished second so many years. Currently, they're actually down in 4th, although they have got a game in hand. So they're not going particularly strongly. I feel like that should be a game that we go into the game favourites for, in all honesty. I feel like we've taken out 2 tough teams. By comparison, I don't want to say it too loudly, but Lyon feels like it should be more straightforward. The likes of Payet there, if we just sort by kind of salary, they've got this guy, Roselia here, who looks like an okay striker at 30 years old. I mean, I'm just going to compare him to Gonzalez for my own kind of ego to be boosted a little bit. I mean, I don't want to say it here because I'll look like a mug tomorrow, but that's a game that we should definitely be winning. Zidane tells us that his players didn't deserve anything. We get Lyon. Gonzalez takes the plaudits. Give that man a coconut. And Eddie Howe's been spotted at the stadium looking at Danny Dyer, David Lind and Declan Rice. I think Rice's time in the England national team might be over if he was watching the same game that I was watching. In terms of when the Lyon games are, you can see here we've got a couple of games in various competitions. Whilst the FA Cup semi-final sounds a little exciting, I feel like with everything else going on, it's kind of second priority right now. So with that in mind, tomorrow we will be back with a Champions League semi-final. We've been here once before. On that occasion, we made it to the final and lost on penalties. Based on what I've seen, if we can keep Gonzalez scoring, we're going to be okay. Wrap him up in bubble wrap. Make sure he doesn't get injured before tomorrow. Guys, I will see you guys for that then. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. A mad one. 2 crazy games. Oh, I'm going to go lie down. I'll talk to you in a bit.